Okay, my name is Sir Alan Piggies. I'm 32. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I just received my LPC last week. Um, what led me to be in the wheelchair was as a young child. It all started when my mom was working two jobs, and well, my father they had got a divorce when I was 7. So when she started working two jobs to take care of me and my sister, I was always with different aunts and uncles, and she was always with different aunts and uncles. So I was pretty much, I guess, angry a lot as a child because of not having my father there, and then basically not having my mother there. She always supported me, but she wasn't just there physically because she had to work to support us to get us what we need or what we want. So I lived with my aunt and uncle from probably around 7 or 8 to 11 years old. He taught me everything I know to be a man, but I kind of got tired of just being hemmed up in that lifestyle. I kind of got close to some friends at school and wanted to be around them more. And I lived in the country away from everything, and they lived downtown, what you would call, the hood. And you know what I'm saying? It seemed like their life was just so much fun. And then basically, I loved that my uncle took me in and took care of me and taught me how to be a man. But at the same time, it did remind me of, okay, I wish I had my mom and dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they had two boys, and one was older than me and one was younger than me. And those were like my brothers. But at the same time, you're still thinking like, man, I wonder how it would be if I had my whole family intact and still married. And so I got kind of big-headed when I turned 11 and wanted to go move downtown in the hood with my aunt, who was a single parent, around my friends. And most of them was gang members and had uncles and cousins and older brothers that were gang members. And most of them didn't have a father. And so I felt like I related to them more. And so when I moved downtown in the hood and started hanging out with them more, I was introduced to that gang lifestyle. And so once I became, a vice lord, I started seeing a lot of things, and I actually started falling in love with it. As in the quick money, the jewelry, and seeing, the older guys with the cars, and, with a lot of women. And it just, at a young child, just beginning to be a teenager, it kind of opened your eyes like, man, I like that, I want that. And not knowing the consequences behind it, but just seeing the good part of it. So I was living that lifestyle from like 11 to 16. I quit football in high school when I had turned probably when I was 15 going on 16, because I had a choice to make. Spend more time, quit football to spend more time with the gang members and do gang activities, or continue to play football and not be around my brothers as in the gang members. Because like every time we met up to go fight someone or just whatever the case may be, I was always there. But when I got to playing football and practicing 2 times a day, I started spending less time with them because of, you'd be tired after practice. So you don't get to spend the time with them after school or just however we used to do. So I had a choice, and I picked the wrong choice. I quit football. In my mind, I was going to go back my senior year, not knowing that same year that I was going to be involved in an accident. The night of the accident, well, the whole entire day, me and one of my friends had got his brother had bought a car from a crackhead with some crack. And so they were basically just in the car just dogging it out the whole day. And so me and one of my friends were like, we're not getting in that car, something's gonna happen, because how they were doing, they didn't care about the car. They just got it for some drugs and were just basically just, running it how they wanted to run it. And so it come to midnight. A little bit before midnight, my mom came through, and she was telling me I need to be in the house because I live with my aunt. And I was like, well, I'm finna get ready to go in, walk my friend to the house, and then I'm going in the house. But we went in the house for a little while, but when I came out to finna get ready to walk him home, my other friend whose brother bought the car, he had the car. And he was like, man, why don't y'all go to the store with me to get some gas? So me and my friend looked at each other and gave us that look like we said we weren't gonna get in that car. But then he was like, man, he was like, I'm just gonna get some gas and come right back. So we were like, all right, okay. So we got in the car. We went to get some gas and came right back. He drove fine, no clowning or anything like that. So, everything was cool. And he was like, man, it's a party going on. He was like, let's go to the party. We looked at each other again, and it was like, we said we want to get in that car. But at the same time, we were like, he drove, decent, going to the store, and he didn't clown or anything like that. And then the key word to be able to get me involved with women. He was like, man, there's going to be a lot of women there, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, cool, let's go. So we picked up one more friend on the way, so it was 4 of us in all. And we went to the party, and then when we left the party, it had started raining. And on the way home, my car was coming around the road with the lights on bright, and they ran, and so my friend had to dodge the car before it went hit us. And when he dodged the car, we started skidding. And as we were going off the road, we was gonna hit a ditch. And my friend on the on the passenger side, got scared because he was asleep. He woke up and panicked, and he snatched the wheel. And when he snatched the wheel, that's when we hit a tree. And I got threw out of the back seat on the passenger side. And I was automatically paralyzed from neck down from that moment. I couldn't move anything but my eyes. I was just in pain. I can remember myself hollering. I hear somebody else hollering, but I can't move to see who it is. So I'm moving my eyes to try to find them. And as I'm doing that, I see my bones sticking out my left wrist. I see nothing but blood on me. And then I finally saw my friend, and he had the motor across his chest, pressing against his chest, and that's who was hollering. And next thing you know, I was gone. I had died. And then I was told that they revived me in a helicopter on the way from Batesville, Mississippi to Memphis, Tennessee, to the Med. And my mom was telling me how it was like the worst moment of her life, because they called her back and forth 3-4 times about the doctor say, we lost your son, he's gone. Then like 30 minutes or an hour later, we got your son back. And she said it went back and forth maybe 3-4 times. And then she was like, I think around the 3rd time, they was like, well, we lost him, he's gone. They were just basically telling her to arrange for the funeral and things like that. And then she said about 30 minutes or an hour later, they called back. And it was like, we don't know how he keep coming back, but he's back, we got him revived. He's here, y'all can come see him, and this and that. And so she told me that her and a couple of my other family members, they drove up there to see me, but I couldn't recall it because I was heavy sedated under medicine, like a heavy sedated coma. So I was out for 2 months. I was out for 1 month, and then when I woke up, I was paralyzed from neck down an additional month. So I was paralyzed from neck down for 2 months. And my whole drive, to be honest, at the time was to get out, to be able to kill the driver, because I blamed him for it, because he, when my friend grabbed the wheel, when we finally hit the tree, he jumped out. And so I looked at it like he left us to die instead of trying to control the car to the end. And so my whole motivation was, I didn't care what happened to me once I got to the hospital. As long as I had my revenge on him, I would have been satisfied. I wanted him to feel the pain that I felt being in the hospital, because I was hurting so bad. I had my own morphine pump. I had to push the thing to be able to get morphine in me to control the pain. And the only time I didn't hurt when I was asleep. Outside that, I was hurt. And then the first day I woke up, it was like the worst day of my life. So when I woke up, the nurse came in, and she was like, you know where you at? I'm like, no. And she was like, you in the Med. I just turned 16. I didn't know what the Med was. And she was like, you're in the hospital in Memphis. You had a car accident. You're paralyzed from neck down. And I was like, no, I'm not paralyzed from neck down. I was like, my truck outside, I'm finna go. And so when I tried to move, I can't move anything but my eyes. And that's when it like just sunk and hit me like she wasn't lying. But the whole process of therapy started when I saw my fingers flinch. And then I talked to my doctor about it, and then that's when they put like a mechanical hand on me. I made a joke that it looked like a Freddy Krueger hand. And they taught me how to move my fingers over. And then slowly things started to come in my arms, and then to my little feeling came to my chest, and then slowly to my ribs. And so they had me practicing transporting from one place to the next. And once I learned how to do some of those things, that's when they allowed me to leave the hospital. And so when I was discharged, I was on bed rest for another probably 19 weeks. So I missed school because I was in the hospital right before summer school started until it was time to go back to school. But then I was on house arrest for an additional 19 weeks. So I missed a lot of work. People were trying to call. I couldn't stay up over 30 seconds probably. I was always asleep because I was heavy sedated with medicine. So eventually, when I was getting better, when it was like the question would hit, like my mom was asking me, was I ready to go back to school? In my mind, I used to be a football player. I used to be a gamer. I was popular. So I didn't want to go back to school. So I thought about it, and I was like, I'm not going back. Not like this, because I had a body brace on. I couldn't I couldn't do anything for myself, because I was still in a bad condition. But my mom, family, friends got to talking to me, encouraging me. And then when my barber, he said, well, I'm gonna let you know. He said, life gonna go on with you or without you. And then when my mom told me, okay, your sister and cousin gonna catch up with you and y'all be graduating at the same time. So those two things mixed together, kind of like, okay, I gotta go back to school. And so I went back to school. It was a struggle because, like I said, I couldn't do things for myself. I needed help with everything, and so I went through that stage, and then that's when I noticed I still had some of the same power that I had as in walking when it came to like gang activity. Because I noticed now people would follow me and do what I said more then than when I was walking. And so I kind of used that for my advantage for a while until God started changing my life. And that's when I slowly started, giving up the drugs and giving up just, the cursing, the drinking, the smoking, and just trying to better my life. But right before then, what led me to trying to better my life, when God was calling me, I was running from him. And I didn't, because he was calling me to preach, and I didn't want to preach. And I was looking at like my lifestyle that don't even go together. And so my life was so messed up to me because I couldn't do anything. I was so used to being popular and being able to do so much, and everybody was looking up to me. I had told myself I didn't want to live anymore. So I had planned to commit suicide. I had told myself, my mom, she always used to cook before she leave that day, and I used to be the only one at the house. And so, because I moved back in with her after the car accident, so I had said whatever she cooked, I was gonna get all my pills and put it in my food, and that was gonna be my last day. I pretty much said that was gonna be my last supper, and so I can remember to this day she cooked burger and fries. And soon as she left, I got all my pills, I pulled it up on my burger, and I said, this was gonna be it. But as soon as I was going to take a bite of the burger, I heard God clear as day tell me, you're not going to die. And so when he told me that, I just put it down and I started crying. And that moment forward, he started talking to me. And he was telling me, if you want your pain to be gone permanently, if you want to be successful, if you want to change, he was basically telling me whatever you want is going to have to be through him. And he was like, if I accept his call and do his will, he was going to provide my every need. And when I accepted his call, he took away the pain. I used to have to smoke and drink like every day, all day, just to take away my pain, just to numb it for a couple hours. But when I accepted his call, even when I was trying to do what he was saying do, as in cleaning myself up, he started taking away my pain. He took away all of my pain. And that's when things slowly started to happen, and that was good. I graduated from high school in 2003. That's when I accepted his calling. I went to Ole Miss and got my BA in psychology. I had went through some struggle, up and down, through there by trying to adapt to the wheelchair and the college campus and life. But I graduated there in 2007 with my bachelor's in psychology. Then I was debating about my master's because I didn't know what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to put anything more on my mom, because she was the one helping me get to school. And so she came to me and was like, if you want your master's, I know that's something you wanted, I will help you. So we made an agreement that, she would help me. So I went to Delta State University in 2009, and I graduated 2011 with a 4.0 for my master's in school and community counseling. And then I was struggling trying to find a job in Mississippi because the town I stayed in was so small. And most of the people, they either kept their jobs until they retired, so it was always hard to get the job that you was looking for. So I remember praying one night, like, Lord, I need better than this, than living off this disability check month to month, because I had just got a 1 bedroom apartment. So all my money went toward bills, and I still needed help on other bills. Scared me about rent, and most of my bills took it. So if I needed money for gas or food, it was a struggle. And so, the next morning when I woke up, God was like, "It's time for you to move." And I was like, "Move where?" And that's when He told me He wanted me to move to Atlanta, Georgia. And so I looked into moving here, and I looked into the Shepherd Center and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I can go up there and focus on my body for a while to try to walk, because it's something I said I wanted to do after I graduated. We'll focus more on me and my body and try to walk. And so the next weekend I went up. I had my aunt to bring me up here to look at different apartments, and I got an apartment. And a week later, I moved up here, and it was a struggle up here by myself, not knowing anyone. Didn't have much food, didn't have no money, no nothing. And God put everybody in place. God provided my every need. I got into the Shepherd Center and got into therapy, and started walking on braces, and God just started putting people in my life to bless me, and people in therapy saw my dedication at the Shepherd Center and stuff, and people there offered me a job, and I accepted that, and I worked there for a year. And after that, I went into the counseling field, and that's when I started working in the counseling field. And so my whole thing has just been trying to encourage others, and be able to help other people the way God helped me, and put people in place to be able to help me. So now I'm just dedicated to just helping others. My goal is to be able to have my own private practice, to be able to help, everyone. But my main focus is to be able to help people with disabilities, with SEI, to be able to motivate them, encourage them to seek jobs, to seek higher education, to do some of the things God blessed me to do. And that's some of the things that I want to be able to help them by giving back, to just show God thank you, and then just to show, that other people that's, down or going through struggles, that, it is another side to it. You still can have success despite your obstacles. You still can have success despite whatever you're going through. And just try to show them, like, some of the way that I went through, not necessarily mean it's going to work for them, but it's at least some things that they can make you consider trying, that relates towards them. And so that's pretty much my story. Come from single home, left a good home that taught me how to be a father, and got introduced to the gang life, and went down the wrong road for probably about 6-7 years, and God came in and straightened everything up, and here I am today, just in the PhD program, and I'm trying to graduate here if I can get my doctorate, and have my own private practice to be able to help as many people as I can.